Solemn is not a title that I'm particularly happy with. However, given time restraints and imagination devoting its resources to other areas, this is the best I could come up with. Besides, it mostly works, slightly but not accurately hitting on the theme of depression in the film, as well as a bit of low-level wordplay on the word soul as in sun. Our sun, get it? Anyway, way before this name came about, the entire project was named Short Film. Original, huh? And short film wasn't always the low-key, emotion-exploring, psychologically commentating science fiction non-epic it turned out to be. Oh no. The original plan set out a feature-length universe-destroying science fiction extravaganza, complete with huge set pieces and explosive special effects. Pages and pages were filled with plot outlining, many more with backstory, and a few concept sketches drawn. Unfortunately, after taking a step back to observe this wonderful pile of pre-production amazingness, I had the daunting realisation that it all sounded a bit like a plagiaristic childhood fantasy. Damn. So I was back to square one. The idea came to me on one of my long journeys home, pondering what would happen to the world if the sun died. After piecing together this rather depressing curiosity, it suddenly occurred to me that I could use this as a basis for short film.
Will it be here forever?
Oh no, it's only got about 5 billion years left in it. I'm sure we won't be around when it's gone. Now, I know the audio in this piece isn't great, but it's the best I could come up with considering my poor voice acting skills, poor script writing skills, and no experience in audio editing. So, I think I've done a fairly good job on it. It kind of works. This film ended up as part machinima, part live action for a number of reasons. A constantly changing script, a considerable desire to use a camera, resources available, and a severe underestimation in the amount of time machinima would take. The first draft of the script was long, as in 25 to 30 minutes long. After doing a bit of research on the development of other pieces of machinima produced using the source engine, such as Clear Skies and the Monad, this started to look like a very bad idea. Clear Skies is around 40 minutes long, and took hundreds of hours and over a year to produce, and the Monad is remarkably cinematic, but the animation required a painstaking hit and mostly miss approach to get right. This didn't sound promising. Largely, the problem area of machinima is in the acting. In most cases, especially with the source engine, you're limited to pre-existing animation resources, the majority of which didn't fit the story I was telling. There are a set of tools provided to give some degree of control over custom animation based on blending predefined gestures. This turned out to be considerably time consuming, so in the end I decided to concentrate on the visual aspect rather than the animation. Given the trouble I would have had animating every single actor and character in the scene, I decided to rethink machinima altogether. Mostly. At this point, a considerable amount of work had been produced for the fantasy scenes, so to accommodate that, I planned to keep them as a visualisation of Alex's imagination, and film the rest of it. So, after planning out and taking a few test stills, wondering exactly how to shoot an overhead shot of a train, a series of car crashes, and a 100-person gathering around a flaming roundabout, the search for actors began. And ended abruptly, as I decided that shooting those scenes would be entirely impractical. So, I stuck with machinima. After working on it for a while, I managed to cut the film down to around 5 minutes, which would have been an acceptable amount of work to produce the machinima. After re-editing the script, the film was eventually cut down to around the 2-minute mark, which was perfect for the short film. For the avant-garde piece, I decided to take advantage of different graphical glitches within the game, as well as take advantage of various light effects available.